Hey, hi, hello. This is a different angle. I have decided to do a sketchbook tour because this is a sketchbook I've had for 2 years, and I recently finished it, earlier this week? No, last week. Wow. I cut my original explanation out because it was really long and didn't make sense. There's going to be a lot of things in here that are probably going to get blurred out because this has served as not only my sketchbook but also my diary for 2 years. And those 2 years were incredibly eventful, and not all of that information needs to be put on the internet. But I thought it'd be fun to do a sketchbook tour because I've been doing watching a lot of sketchbook tours recently, and I thought it would be fun to do one. So I count this as like my fourth like official sketchbook, because all sketchbooks I had before the first four were lined paper. There's a lot of stickers. It's been sticker bombed. Most of these I don't know where they're from because I got them either from like various dollar stores or they were given to me by friends. The actual nightmares. There's like nothing on here. This was my first day of my sophomore year of high school. So this was me trying to like do like scripts for icebreakers because I was really afraid of doing icebreakers. For whatever reason I wrote fuck dolphins. I don't like dolphins, but that seems a little extreme. Also, you'll notice that a lot of my sketchbook has writing instead of drawings. I also have the date in like tiny little writing up here that you can't see very well. And this is again just more doodles I did because I had a lot of writing because I was anxious because it was like the first day or first week of school still. You can't see this very well. This is so scuffed. There's a lot of just little doodles in here. This I did have an idea because I've wanted to like, since I was really young, like move very far away from home. And so I was thinking about that like during class, and I was like, it would be really cool if like a long like that road trip or something to like take pictures of the scenery around and then like paint it later. Yes, lore. There are two stories that I have that I work on a lot. One is Elevara, which I have a map on my wall for. I'll put a picture on screen. But another one is this one. I don't have a name for it officially, I don't think, but it's a very fantasy-heavy world. This is the main character. Their name is Revna, and they live in a car, which is this country here, so I drew like the quick little doodles of all the countries. And I started making a map in one of my art classes, and then I gave up halfway through. Angry pom-pom dude! You need a good look at him. He's like a little, like, Pomeranian kind of thing, and I drew him in the sketchbook I had just before this, and I loved him, and so I drew him here, and now I kind of want him to be in every single sketchbook I draw ever. Oh, this is more lore. This is more lore for the other thing I was talking about, Elevara. I want at least one story for every continent. I might do one story for every country later, but this one is in a village called Akal, and these are all monsters. They're from technically another dimension. All of them are partially related due to genetic engineer. It's complicated, but these are their like concept designs. This character, I think I changed their name and design entirely. This is just a cute little cat, which I doodled because oh wait, yeah, okay, August 26th. This is when I got my cat. This is when we adopted my cat, Jordan. A main character that I play in Guild Wars 2. I'll put a picture of them on screen. Who's a human ranger, and I decided it'd be a cute little idea if I designed like a statue to be put up somewhere after they died. Oh, this was for English class. We had to read an article that was Confessions of a 30-Year-Old Gamer, and we had to make a one-pager for it. And then I drew this little thing because I hate Blizzard. These are tattoos I wanted on my hands that I have designed for whenever I can get around to getting my hands tattooed, which is not going to be for a while because I have to get other tattoos first. Because hand tattoos are called job killers for a reason. This is an eye I decided to color with alcohol markers, and I'm learning now that I don't really think I like alcohol markers all that much because they don't blend all that, or I don't know if it's just an issue with the markers that I have, but they don't seem to blend very well and they're really streaky. I don't like it. But it took me an eon to draw this because I tested 22 different markers. So this was an outfit kind of thing that I wanted to have at some point, and I never did. I've never owned a maxi skirt in my life. Okay, this is trauma. This is more lore for that one thing that I was talking about. This is Revna after they become king of a car. Oh wait, okay, wait, no, this is great. This is a letter that I got from my best friend. They moved because I met them in school, and then they moved to another state, and so they wrote me a little letter, and then I cried a little bit after I read it, and so now it's all smudged because of the other page, and it's kind of annoying, and I shoved it. They have a shark sticker! They know me so well! This was me getting excited for Halloween, and we have this very cursed little thing. This, okay. This is the first sketch I did of what I consider to be my first YouTube video. And this is Jordan. Brain soup. That's awful. Now, there's like nothing on here. I wanted to draw body horror and then I just gave up. This is wrapping paper that I made for a gift for a person I don't talk to anymore. Boredom. This was another concept for Micah. This was another concept for Micah. I think I might have cut it out where I explain who Micah is. Micah is the main character of that story that takes place in that village, Akal, that I mentioned earlier. This was a reference image where I thought the hair was really cool. Mermaid, because mermaids are fun. This is related to that fantasy world again. This was Revna and Revna's sister Lyra. This was their mother. What is this? This was a shitty poem I wrote. Not gonna look at it. I do write poetry sometimes. The poems in this book specifically are awful. I wanted to draw something with a highlighter, color something into the highlighter, and that's what I did. I just did a star with a bleeding heart in the center of it. There's something deeply wrong with me. This was a sketch for a embroidery project I did. Angry pom-pom creature makes another appearance! Let's go! I'm gonna assume that's covered for a reason and we're not gonna touch it. This drawing here relates to this drawing really here, which was so bad I decided not to use the page ever again because I hated looking at it, was I wanted to make a Last of Us OC. I have a story idea that pops into my head once in a while of just like normal, average person, and this just like demonic, awful creature that's just like, that's my child now. I take care of this thing. I just think that's just an idea I have on occasion that I think is fun. Good God! What is a fruce? What is a fruce and why is it looking at me? This one's fun. Okay, so we had a project in English class that year where we had to create a character based on a poison. And so I made a character that was based on a poison. I think it was chloroform. And I worked so hard on the story. I worked so hard on it. The only thing there was supposed to be like a video we had to do, and that was the only thing I didn't do because I was going to try to do an animation for it. Did not get it done on time. Well, I don't know what those are. This was a poem we had to make for something called a shadow book. I might still have it. This I can't tell you, and if I could tell you, don't think I'd want to. This is more Elovara lore. I've been working a lot harder on Elovara than I have that other story. I had a quick little concept of possibly making it a horror game, and you would play as Micah in the game, and then, because Micah's kind of a monster, they would have a human form, half monster form, and then monster form. And this was the monster that wouldn't last very long, but would do a shit ton of damage if you did go into it. And this was the concept for that. This is one of a cajillion little sketches I did, because we had to make a wire sculpture. So I did that. This is one of my characters in, not related to Micah, different story, but in the world of Elovara. This is the one I ultimately ended up going with, and it did not turn out well at all. And this was me trying to plan it out a little bit more. This was a project I had to do for Japanese class. We had to write just very basic descriptive sentences about ourselves. And I had to put a picture, and so I drew all the pictures. This is a reference image that I used, and I liked the reference image, and then I didn't like the drawing that I did after of it. This is me trying to use a different technique for how to draw faces, and I don't like it at all. This was me. Okay, I have a lot of allergies, and my skin is incredibly sensitive, and I'm constantly itchy so often, and it's awful. And for whatever reason, this day specifically, it was so bad. I was crying. This has a funny story. These are two balloons. So we was in art class again, and my art project that I had to do, it was a similar art project for both classes, had to cover a balloon in tissue paper and wrap string around it. The problem was every time I tried to do it, the balloon would randomly pop. Every single time. I was doing everything correctly, the balloon would just pop at random. And I was the only person having this problem. And so my teacher was finally like, I'm just gonna excuse you from the project because you've tried to make 6 balloons and all of them pop. You are struggling and I'm running out of balloons. And so it's okay, fine. And I drew this in rage, and I threw it on her desk. I'm like, that's my assignment. That's what I'm turning in. And she's like, okay, upload it to the thing. I will count it. I'll grade it. I cut out the context again, so I'm explaining. From here on out, you're gonna hear me talk about one of my art classes as my class and the other class. What it was 2 art classes, like separate classes, were put into the same class period. I had a habit of finishing my assignments way too quickly. So I'd sit there and not have anything to do for like a week. The other class that we were doing was doing, God, I don't remember what it's called. Neurographic art. That's what it was. I've had to do neurographic art so many times. This is lore. This is not lore. What I'm covering up is not lore. This is lore. I wanted to make a website for that world that I was making that I thought would be cool. I had really bad art block, and when my art block is really, a problem, my art skills plummet into nothing. Then this was me trying to come up with a book cover for it. Couldn't think of anything. In the playlist this video is going to be in, there is a video, and it is called, I made a art challenge Skronktober 2023. My art block was really bad, and I wanted to try to do a prompt list to, like, help fix it. And I wanted to do Inktober that year because October was coming up. Yeah, October 1st. But then I was trying to, like, find the Inktober prompt for that year, and I learned that the guy who made Inktober is, like, an awful piece of shit. And so I was like, okay, I'm gonna... And no other prompt lists had really, like, taken off yet that I could find. That, like, enough people were doing. So I wanted to try to make my own prompt list, and that's what this is. I might do another one this year. I don't know if I want to do another one this year, because when I tried to do the other one last year, like, 3 people liked the video on TikTok, and that was it, and 1 person watched the YouTube video. And then I asked my dad for ideas, and he said creosote bush, tortoise, and stairs. Then this was me. Okay, the first prompt was vampire, and I have the painting on my wall over there, and the painting is on my channel. It's unlisted, but it's in the playlist that this is in. And then the next prompt was stairs, and I drew a little dude. I have the drawing in a folder over here. This little guy. Me trying. There's, like, I think one of the prompts was like a road, and I wanted to do a coyote, like, in headlights. Then there was another one of those antlers, so I was drawing a bunch of deer. The prompt was hook, and I thought it'd be fun to draw, like, a giant sea monster getting lured in by a hook. And because I love sea monsters. One thing about me is I am not really that scared of the ocean. I don't have any ocean-related phobias. And also, if we ever discover a Leviathan-like creature that is alive and well today, I am gonna be so fucking ecstatic. I will speed run a marine biology PhD in order to go research that Leviathan. I love Leviathans. One of the prompts was gonna be forbidden, and so I was gonna do forbidden puppy and draw a bear. Was what I was gonna draw, because I like to call bears forbidden puppies, because if not friend, why friend shaped? Then I fell behind a lot, and so I was trying to catch up and draw thumbnails for it. And I love him. I love him so much. He's a little mouse wearing a Halloween costume. Anyway, this was me drawing. I started playing D&D with the group. It left. And this was my D&D character, who was a druid. And I collected every animal I came across. We had to do a 1-pager for English class, and I never finished it. This was going to be a thumbnail. I was going to do a live stream. Didn't end up happening. These were embroidered bookmarks we had to make. And this was one for me, this was one for my mom. And then this was going to be one for my dad, but I changed it later and didn't make it during this time frame. I made it a couple months later. I made it a couple months ago, actually. I was gonna draw a vampire pirate character, and then I fucked up the anatomy so bad that I just gave up. I was gonna make him a, actual, like, Renaissance style painting, and then I never got around to it. I might still do it. I tried to draw a horse from memory. It was bad. This is the start of me kind of starting to develop a cowboy obsession. My teacher, she's like, oh yeah, the other class is making a map. You really liked making the map last year. Do you want to make another one? And I was like, absolutely, I fucking do. And so this was me trying to doodle, and this one was for, that fantasy world I was making. So maybe I do have an actual name for it. I don't know where the project went, so I can't confirm. We have this guy, and his name is Hilbert. I drew a few reference images of a few animals. I don't remember what this was. I guess when I drew it, I didn't know what this was either, because I wrote, the fuck, who are you and why are you in here? I got a red colored pencil, and I thought it'd be fun to do, like, a sketch layer in red colored pencil and then line it over with, like, the normal pencil and then do a pen later, and then I stopped doing that. Just some still life reference pictures I found on Pinterest that I doodled. Okay, one of my favorite OCs I've ever made is, Alistair Delcan is their name. And they are my favorite little character I have ever created, and I torture them so much. You see how they have 2 arms? That doesn't stay. I am so proud of this drawing. I am so fucking proud of this drawing. It was my profile picture on TikTok for so long. This is my magnum opus. This is my magnum opus. My freshman year of high school, I had an obsession with forms on a string. I had an obsession with worms on a string, and I decided it would be really funny to try to make a worm gown with giant crocheted worms on a string. I was gonna do a video of me making this too, but then something really bad in my life happened, and so I lost motivation to do it. I'm gonna try again, because I fucking love this idea so much. This was the pattern for making the giant worm on a string. Again, me processing stuff right before a big event happened. That was really bad. It made it worse. This was me drawing a crow holding a dead flower. This was me trying to make two characters. One was very self-inserty. I was doing awfully, and for whatever reason, TikTok ended up showing me a bunch of bike talk videos, which were started off normal, and and when I was a kid, I really liked motorcycles, and I wanted one. I'm like, oh, okay, cool, this is fine. And, like, start off with, like, normal people, just like, this is how you ride a bike, these bike maintenance stuff. I'm like, okay, cool, or just goofing off. And then it got really weird, because I guess there are people who try to attract the very creepy part of book talk, and it got really scary, really fast. They lose their arm at some point. Spoiler for a thing that doesn't exist. They lose their arm at some point, and then get it replaced with, like, steam-powered arm is what I wanted to replace it with. This I drew because I had watched Lisa Frankenstein the night before, and it was vaguely inspired by Lisa Frankenstein. I love that fucking movie. I love Lisa Frankenstein so much. Go watch that movie right now. I had went to a county fair, and I looked at the clouds, but, like, you know when you look at clouds and they look like things? That's what I saw. An artist I do like, music artist I like, Blue Jay Walker. He was releasing a song. Everybody thinks they're the one to get away. And they were doing the, like, promotion content for it. And I loved it. And I was like, this fits some OCs I have so well. I want to do a little animatic to it so bad. And I started plotting it out. I did the whole storyboard, and then I never actually finished it. Because when trying to actually draw the scenes, I got so annoyed. And I'm so mad. I kind of want to do it still. Then this was, there was a trend of doing that, thing from Undertale where it's like, it's you, despite everything, it's still you. And there's that trend of doing it with your OCs. But I was going to do that with Alistair. These are me trying to draw some neat little references I found on Pinterest. This was a drawing that I did, and I started doing. And then I just kind of gave up halfway through because I didn't like it. This was, I was very lost at this current moment in time. And for a couple of days, I was like, you know what, maybe I can be a tattoo artist. Because I do like tattoos and I want to get a lot of tattoos in the future. Maybe I could be a tattoo artist. And then I was doing it, and then I was thinking about it more. I'm like, I don't really think that's for me. This is where my art block gets, like, really, 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 really awful. And the only things I have the motivation to draw are thumbnails for my videos. So these are for Stardew Valley. Hubert! Okay. If you look on my channel page, you'll see a My Friends thing, and that's Mizuki's first person listed there. That's my friend that I'm talking about. They convinced me to use character AI a little bit, and so I had come up with this awful, weird story of a character whose family inherited this ancient deity who takes the form of a frog with a wizard hat and a beard, who's so strange and so weird and so fucked up. One of the scenes that happened when I was doing the character and everything, because I was torturing this poor character, I think it was Sebastian from Stardew Valley I was torturing. He like throws up a coin, and then it's like he's in charge of finances. And he also, if he is away from whoever the chosen one is, for 6 feet away from the person who is the chosen one, he will spontaneously combust. This is Gary. I tried to draw the ghoul from the Fallout show, and I fucked it up really bad. I got really annoyed, so I scribbled it out. I asked my friend for things to draw, he gave me that. I had a brief obsession with That's Not My Neighbor, and so I drew this little guy. I love him. I don't know what he is. I saw a few of the, like, previews of some of the outfits for the Met Gala, and I really hated them. And so I tried to do one that I felt fit the theme more. I don't know. This is when I tried to learn Dutch on Duolingo. Duolingo likes giving the sentence, "you are an apple," a lot. So I drew Duolingo as an apple. A YouTuber like Maddie Drosbeck did a, like, how to set up a dating profile thing. I thought it'd be cute to do that for one of my OCs. When I was trying to find reference images, I saw a womb tattoo pop up a lot on Pinterest. So I guess that's the placement. I just thought gaping maw would be a fun little thing there. I developed a hyper focus on Eurovision. This was me trying to come up with matching tattoos for me and my friend that moved to Utah that I mentioned earlier. This is me coming up with matching tattoos for me and them. This is the bookmark I made for my dad. It was a bear driving a tractor at like 1,000 miles an hour. This is a little bear eating a sandwich because Duolingo gave me a sentence. It's the bear translation, the bear ate a sandwich, and I'm like, that's amazing. I love that. This is the steps by steps of how to make one of these bad boys. I then made 16 of them in total. And then again, my art block was really bad. And then my friend, who is a much better artist than I am, she gave me a bunch of tips of stuff to like study, which I haven't gotten around to just yet. I'm gonna do that in my new sketchbook. Gave me a bunch of stuff to like try to practice. And then she gave me a tip of drawing with a ballpoint pen. I used that. And I hate pencils now. I wrote a poem that I'm actually kind of proud of about a sailor, and so I drew a boat. This is a pressed flower. It's like nailed to my wall. So I'll just put a picture on screen, but we we're making a little pouch, and so this was the thing that I was gonna put on my pouch, little design. Here's where the art blocks are starting. I rewatched Gravity Falls. You will see later that this gets really bad. In my new sketchbook, it is getting really bad. So I drew Bill Cipher, and then I was rewatching it, and then there was this little end clip. It was the Bottomless Pit episode, where Grunkle Stan had fallen back into it, and looks very annoyed and awful, and he's just sitting there with his arms crossed, and I thought it was really funny, so I drew it. This was me. I found a cool reference image, and then I fucked it up really bad, and so I put in, like, red colored pencil, like, corrections. So this I had made months and months ago. A year ago, actually, I made this. Because we had an icebreaker assignment at school that was like, hey, draw a self-portrait. But my teacher, as a big mistake, put in, or you can do something that you think represents you. Like a quote or something. I'm like, quote, life is soup, I am fork with 2 screaming possums. And this is what I drew. And I taped it on there. And so I could take it off and put it in my sketchbook once I got the thing back. This is where my love for ballpoint pens and my starts and my hatred for pencils begins. I found a artist on YouTube, and I really like their art. Static Wool. Or they drew a bunch of cowboys in a couple of videos. And I was like, I also love cowboys. Actually, this camera is stacked up on a bunch of westerns, like books. So I drew a cowboy spread. And then I showed it to my dad, and he's like, I see a severe lack of cowboys. And so I drew this thing. This one, my friend, I asked on Instagram for people to give me prompts. Which I don't know why I keep doing that, because I have, like, no Instagram followers. But my friend gave me Hot Ghost Man, and so I drew that. This is the thumbnail sketch, for the welcome page for my new sketchbook, which is right here, also holding up the camera. This is also a horse. I tried to draw, like, more from memory than anything, and I fucked it up so bad. Shark, horse, not drawn from memory. This I was redrawing a art project I had in 7th grade. Is it The View from Halfway Down? There's a horror series on YouTube that takes place in an abandoned underground mall, and it's based on this statue that was made in a parade that was stuck in a mall that got abandoned, and I think demolished. And I had watched it several months before. Then Wendigoon made a video about it, and that showed up in my recommended. And apparently there was another video that was added after I had thought I finished watching it, and it implies that this little shit is going down the like interstate at like 180 miles an hour, and so I thought that was really funny, and I doodled it. These I haven't done the full image yet. I was going to do it in this sketchbook, and then I gave up. Okay, I was scrolling Tumblr, and I found a post, and I read it, and I'm like, I want to draw that so bad. And so this was me doing little, like, sketches based on that. This was a first art project of the year for my new art class that I don't really like that much, and I miss my old art teacher so much. It was just decorating a light bulb, so I did a little terrarium. I was going to do a little cult that was worshipping like little like inner wiring of the light bulb, and I hated that idea. I did an angel trapped in a light bulb, and then an angel was the light bulb. I got acrylic markers. They are my new favorite art supply. This is where we get the Gravity Falls hyperfocus is getting bad because I made an OC, and the only lore I have is that they bully Bill Cipher a lot, so I drew Bill Cipher flipping them off. This is the sketch for the final page of my sketchbook. The sketch is so much better than the actual drawing. I think coloring it was a mistake. And you can see I ended this sketchbook on August 22nd, 2024. Thank you for witnessing the horrors that are this Sketchbook and the inner workings of my brain. I appreciate you watching, and have a wonderful day, night, or whatever time it is where you are. I have hiccups. I'm suffering over here. Anyway, bye-bye. If you want me to torture myself and show my drawings from elementary school through middle school, I will consider.